So, hello everyone. My name is Heather Crank, and I am the Study Abroad Advisor here at Eastern Illinois University. And I have prepared this little presentation so that you are aware of the options and the resources that you have to study abroad through Eastern and to have the adventure of your life while you're here at EIU. So what is study abroad? Study abroad is a program of study which is located in a different country than one's home country. So for most students, that's the US, but we do have international students that like to study abroad as well. And so that would be going to a different country than one's home country. And it's also the opportunity to take classes and pursue personal, academic, and professional goals in the international setting for academic credit. And, this is a really great opportunity here to say if you wanted to take classes, do an internship, whatever that may be, really great opportunity here. And you also learn new things about yourself while you're abroad, and you're also completing the requirements that you have for your degree. So the pictures here I have below are from when I had the privilege and opportunity to study abroad through EIU in my undergrad. And so the picture on the left is of a faculty-led spring break to Guatemala, and we are grouped together on a volcano at a store, and this guy actually lives on the volcano. So, really cool. And then the other two pictures are from my short-term summer that I did in Costa Rica. They're the middle picture of my friends and I in the rainforest, and then I have myself at the university. But I could talk endless about my opportunity that I had to study abroad, but got other things to talk about here. So just wanted to tell you a little bit myself and my study abroad experiences. So just a little information about us. We help send anywhere between 100 to 200 students abroad a year. We have hundreds of different program options to choose from. We actually have approximately 605 at the moment, and we are working on getting more options, and we've even catered options to specific students. So if you are looking through our list and you're not really seeing anything that's popping to your eye, we are happy to work with you to find the program that works. And we also advise students every step of the way when it comes to study abroad. So we help you find a program, we help you apply for a program, we'll help you find scholarships and financial resources. We'll also prepare you to study abroad by a pre-departure orientation. And then we also assist you while you're abroad. So if anything comes up, we are on call 24/7 to be able to answer any questions that you have about your study abroad experience. And then finally, we also help students when they return. So we give opportunities for students to talk about their experiences abroad and how their experience has impacted their life. And we also work with students from all walks of life and majors. So we work with first-gen students, we work with graduate students, we work with athletes, military students, students of every major. Our most popular are business, technology, and education, but we do accommodate all majors. And we also have that every study abroad employee has either lived or studied abroad and speaks at least one world language. I am fluent in Spanish, just for an example. And we are here to help you no matter what you know or don't know about study abroad. And I always tell my students that there's no such thing as a stupid question, and I'd rather have you ask me the same question 3 times than not at all. So we are happy to help you in whatever way we can. So how is studying abroad going to benefit me? I get this question a lot. And so in this presentation, I have created a little table to kind of explain the benefits of studying abroad from an academic perspective, a professional perspective, and a personal perspective. On the academic side, you'll benefit from a new global perspective on your field of study. So if you are an education major and want to study abroad, you can benefit by seeing the different educational systems, say, for example, in Germany or the UK in comparison to the US, and you can compare those there. Or if you choose to do an internship, you can see how their work experience and their workforce is, different in comparison to ours there. And you can do those comparisons. And also, if you study abroad in a country where English is not the primary language, you'll benefit by learning that new language. So if you go to Italy and learn Italian, if you go to Japan to learn Japanese, or whichever language you choose to pursue, you will improve on that language. On a professional scale, study abroad looks really, really great on a resume, and it gives you that international experience that employers are looking for, because employers are looking for soft skills like critical thinking, problem solving, cultural competency, and all of these things are developed when you study abroad and do these things. And you also develop things like empathy, flexibility, and they also create a strong professional network. So whether you choose to take classes and you get really close with professors overseas, or you get close with friends or host families, depending on your housing situation, all of these people can be great networks to use on your resume. So you could say like, oh, I was a business major, I did an internship for business, and this person that I worked with helped me to do X, Y, and Z. And so like they'd be really great resources for recommendations for your resume interview. And then finally, on a personal scale, you become more independent and flexible because you are throwing yourself in a different country, different cultural norms and things like that. And so you're navigating this whole new world. And in those things, you become more independent and flexible because you have to set aside your own values to adapt to their world. And you also become more confident in yourself, just because, again, you're navigating a new world and you become proud of yourself for everything that you've accomplished while you're abroad. And finally, you become more well-rounded because you are exposing yourself to different culture, different norms and things like that. And so you have a different perspective on the world there as well. So ways to earn credit at Eastern, we have lots of ways you can earn credit, and these are kind of listed as popular to least popular. So the most popular way to get credit is to take courses in your major or minor at a pre-approved partner school. And so this is a lot of what students do when they go abroad, just to get those credits in their major or minor out of the way. You could also take some gen eds there and get that out of the way as well. So whether it be a psych class or an art class or a math class, whatever it is it needs to be, those gen eds can be taken out. And then also we have internships or independent study options, so you can get hands-on experience in your major or minor to get that experience you need. Or if you're really passionate about like a topic, say you're just really passionate about, healthcare in Africa, you could go abroad and do research on it. Like it's a super great opportunity there. And we even have funding for that, which I'll explain a little bit more about later. And then finally, for education majors, we do have student teaching options where you can student teach abroad for 8 weeks. And I will talk about that process more later as well. And all of these credits will return to Eastern, and so will your grades. So this is like a normal system, and this will be like you're attending Eastern, but you're doing it in a different country. And then for non-honor students, we have the option of STA 4000, which if you study abroad and then choose to take the senior seminar course, and it's an easy 1 credit course that you can do, and it satisfies your senior sim. So, it's a really cool opportunity to be able to study abroad and then take this 1 credit course, which hones in on the things that you learned while you're abroad and gives you other resources like, oh, how do I use this experience on my resume? Like, how do I transfer that there? And, it's 1 credit, super easy, and helps you satisfy your senior sim. And these pictures here are from some students that have had go abroad. This one here on the left is of 2 students who went to Greece together over the summer. And then this person on the right spent a semester in Costa Rica. And now we're going to go on to program types. And so we actually have 6 different kind of subtypes that, you can choose from. Here, the first one is what we call a faculty-led program. So these are programs that are led by EIU professors, anywhere between a week and a month. And usually these are over the summer, but we've had spring breaks in the past. We've had different kinds of faculty leds, but the most of them are over the summer there, and everything's just billed to your student account, and then you just pay everything to Eastern, super convenient. And we have really great options here. And so these are the examples of programs that we have running for this summer. There, and then these programs will obviously run for the most part every year. And so we have these options. There, India is our new one, which I have highlighted here in blue, here as well. And this picture here is from the Communication Disorders and Sciences program that went to Trinidad in 2023. So they were able to write EIU in the sand. Our other program types, here now, both of these fall under the partner category. So the process to get into these subtypes is the same. You'll enroll yourself directly into the university, like you did here. You'll register for classes, you'll get to that country, and then you have the flexibility to, plan your time there. So you can get the most bang for your buck by planning excursions and field trips that you want to go on and that you'll get the most fun out of. But there are some minor differences, which is why they have their own subtypes. So this top one is an EIU exchange, where tuition is paid to Eastern, but then like housing, there and all that fun stuff. So tuition's paid to Eastern, and then everything else is paid to the institution. And the cool thing about this one is that we have a tuition waiver. So if you do choose to go through one of these universities for a semester, you can get a whole semester's worth of credit paid for there. So that's really cool. And I'll explain a little bit more about that later. And then we have direct enroll, which everything's just paid to that university. So tuition, housing, all that fun stuff. We even have some institutions that are cheaper than Eastern here as well. And so this top picture is of a student who spent an academic year at Kansai Garai University in Japan. And so she's got some pictures of her time. And then the student on the bottom, the guy in the blue shirt, he spent a semester in Costa Rica for biology. So got to see, that's why the butterflies are there too. Our other program types include a third-party provider. So if you want to go somewhere, but you're not really too savvy on like planning travel, or you just don't want to, you just want everything already planned out, we have great opportunity types for this, because all the costs are just charged to one fee, and then you just pay that fee. And these can be catered to short-term or long-term programs. So depending on how long you want to be abroad, they have customizable programs there for you as well. And then if you're looking for hands-on experience in your field of study, I did touch on this a little bit earlier, but we do have internships for a summer or semester where you can get hands-on experience in your major. So the student pictured here at the bottom, he actually did an internship in Chile for app software. So he was able to work for a company and, work on updating their systems in regards to the apps. And then the student on top, he studied abroad in Italy through a third-party provider. And this is a picture of him on the Italian coast. And then our final program type is what we call the Consortium for Overseas Student Teaching, or the COST program. So all education majors are welcome to study abroad from early childhood, elementary, secondary, and then insert your subject here, education, so like math, music, history, etc. And so, and these are the countries that are available. So Australia, Belize, Greece, Italy, and Spain have been some of the popular ones lately here. And then we also have a picture here of Beyonce, who was a student who did this program to Ecuador in spring 2023. And it's a couple of pictures that she took for us. But if you're interested in this one, you'll spend 8 weeks teaching at a school here in Illinois, and then 8 weeks teaching abroad. And this will satisfy your practicum requirements. So works out really well. So when should you go? Really, you can go anytime between a second semester freshman and a second year grad student. And we do accept transfer students as well. So you're able to go anytime in your college career. And then in terms of like when to go, we have different terms. So we have winter, spring break. So if you're looking for just a tiny 1 to 3 week trip, this time would be great. Summer is our most popular program, and those can range anywhere between 2 and 8 weeks. And then we also have our typical fall or spring semester, so 12 to 19 weeks. And then if you're really brave, you can go for a full-on academic year. And so we give really great flexibility, to students who are looking to study abroad as well. And so I also wanted to talk a little bit about the financial options and resources you have, because there is actually lots of resources that you can have for scholarships and other stuff like that. And so I did want to touch a little bit on this. And so this table here is a list of the scholarships that the Study Abroad Office offers to our students. And most of these vary just depending on the year and how many students apply. And all of these can be found on Academic Works. So when you're going to apply for scholarships, you would go on Academic Works like you were looking for EIU scholarships and just search Study Abroad, and these will pop up. And so we have the Weber, which is our most popular scholarship application, and it's actually really easy to fill out as well. You just answer 3 questions, yes or no, and then put in your application number, and then you can submit it. There makes it really easy, but it's $1,200. And then we have one, so depending if you want to go to Europe, if you're wanting to study abroad for 30 days or less, if you're humanities major, if you choose to go to Harlaxton College in the UK, we have a specific scholarship for that. We have an honors student college scholarship, the Study Abroad Honors College Scholarship. And this one varies, again, depending on how many students apply there, but you do have to be an honors student to qualify for that one. And then the Talented Student Award, this is that tuition waiver that I had mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, but you can get 12 credit hours paid for. And so, that's a really great opportunity if you're looking to go for a semester, but you're just kind of worried about, how am I going to get the tuition paid for? And so, this is a really great opportunity as well. And then we do have our Study Abroad grants, and we give anywhere between 10 and 15 of these a year. But, they're just small $500 scholarships there that we give out. So we do have those options. And again, this is just the scholarships that are through our office. I'm going to talk about next the other resources that you can use. So we do also have some national and international scholarships that you can apply for. So the Benjamin Gilman is our most popular, but you can get up to $5,000 to study abroad. But you do have to receive Pell Grant. So in your financial aid package, if you are a Pell Grant recipient, you are free to apply for this one. But they also give preference to students who want to study abroad in the eastern part of the world, but they do give to students who want to study abroad in Europe and other places as well. We also have the Boren, which has to do with, government work and stuff like that. And they pay your whole way. So they'll pay all the expenses of study abroad. So if you get that one, got a couple of language related ones. So diversity abroad and critical language. And the teachers of French. So all of those kind of relate to language learning. So if you want to go pursue a language abroad, these are some really great opportunities to go on as well. And then we have the Fulbright. So if you have a topic that you want to research, when you're abroad, this is a really great opportunity to say I want to research, politics in Argentina. You can go do that and get funded for it. And they pay your whole way. They pay expenses and they even give you stipends. So that's really cool. And then we also have ones pertaining to regions of the world. So for Asia, we have the Freeman Asia, we have the US Japan Bridging Scholarship. So depending on where you want to go in the world, we have lots of resources. And then other resources that are more pertaining to here in the US, we do have some departments, so academic departments on campus. So you can check with your department to see if they have scholarships that can be used for study abroad. I know that political science, education, and biology have a few that could be used for study abroad, as well as the world languages department. So if you're interested in studying abroad in any of those majors, you can study abroad. But it never hurts to ask your academic advisor or department chair to see if there's any scholarships that you could use for study abroad. You can also check with any RSOs or organizations you're involved with on campus just to see if they have scholarships. So NAACP, TRIO, the Office of Academic Inclusion, those areas. You can even check with organizations in your hometown. So Rotary Club, churches, American Legions. I've had some students get scholarships from local banks. Those things. You give them a try. Big brand companies like Dr. Pepper, Burger King, US Bank, just to get that those resources there. And then we have an abundance of scholarship databases as well. So like goabroad.com, studyabroad.com, Study Abroad 101. We have the Institute of International Education. And depending on like which program type you choose, some universities or third-party providers will even have additional scholarship money to give out if you choose to go through them as well. And so there are lots of options. And then you can even use your financial aid package to pay for study abroad as well. So if you get like Pell Grant, MAP grants, loans, whatever comes in your package, you're free to use that to pay for your study abroad opportunity as well. And I've even had students who have created GoFundMe accounts. I've had students who bake goods and sell them on campus, just some other ways. Or if a holiday or your birthday's coming up, I've had students ask, their family or friends to say like, hey, my birthday's coming up, or, Christmas is coming up. Would there be a way to gift me some money for my study abroad experience instead of giving me, traditional gifts? So, that's also an option as well. But those are just kind of a few resources that you can use to study abroad. So how to get started. So if you were interested in studying abroad through EIU, you can start by scheduling an appointment with the Office of Study Abroad. And then we will help you find a program that is right for you. And the only eligibility that we have to study abroad at Eastern is that you have a 2.0 GPA or higher and be a good standing. So meaning don't get in trouble. So as long as you have those two things, you're able to study abroad through Eastern. And these are the deadlines we have for this year here. So up until March 4th. And these deadlines are usually the same every year. So it kind of gives you a tentative deadline timeline if you wanted to do spring 25, summer 25, fall 25 as well. And then just wanted to let you know about the staff in our office. So Andy Kabasele is the Assistant Dean of International Education and for the International Students and Scholars as well. I, Heather Crank, am the Study Abroad Advisor, and then we do have 3 graduate assistant and student workers who work in the office as well, who are more than happy to answer any questions that you have as well. And their names are indicated below. And then our contact information here is on the right. So we are located in 1158 Blair Hall. Our phone number and email are listed, and then our website as well. And then finally, we do have social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. So if you follow any of those social media platforms, feel free to follow us there as well. But I just wanted to finish off by reading this quote here at the bottom that says, "I've never met a student who studied abroad and regretted it, but I have met many people who regret not studying abroad when they have a chance." So, I mean, just look into it. If for whatever reason, life happens and it, you just can't do it, that's okay. But I just want to make you aware of this incredible opportunity that you have while you're at Eastern to be able to study abroad, because it is a life-changing experience, and no student I've met has regretted going abroad. All the students I've met have loved going abroad. So, but yeah, so that's the presentation, and thank you for taking your time to listen to this presentation. And my contact will also be here as well if you want to ask us any questions as well. And thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.